Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube. Today I recorded a video on how to get ready for an interview.
Okay, come on, let's get started. So we're going to get started with the Fenty Beauty Primer in Soft Matte. You're going to put that all over your face. You know, I do like to do a little bit more tapping to make sure that I'm getting all that extra moisture and just, you know, prepping my skin before I go in with anything else. You're just going to put that all over your face. I do like to go and rub it a little bit and then make sure that it all looks good. Once you feel prepared for that, now we're going to go in with a Cover FX Blurring Primer. This is one of my favorite primers just to put in on any of the areas. So essentially your T-zone area, any location where you feel like you have a little bit more pores, just anything that you want to cover up with that. So go ahead and put it on your forehead, around your cheeks, your nose area, and then on your chin too. Now that you have applied your primer, I'm going to go in with one of my favorite foundations, and it's going to be the Fenty Beauty foundation. It's more of a hydrating foundation in the color 180. So I do like to apply a couple of dots all over my face. Once you have applied all of that, I am going to be picking up my beauty sponge and just blending all of that in. As you can tell, I am also having fun because I was listening to music in the background as I was getting ready. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to just want to blend. Make sure that you don't have any patchy spots. Make sure you have a full coverage. I truly love this foundation because it's so lightweight and it matches my skin so perfectly. Once you get to a spot where you are comfortable and you feel confident with your foundation, next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply some cream contour. The cream contour that I'm using today is from the Cream Contour Kit of Anastasia Beverly Hills, and we're going to be using the shade Light Sculpt. So I mainly like to put this around my cheekbones. I like to do a little bit of a nose snatch sometimes. So I apply a little bit on my nose. And then I also apply a little bit on my upper lip just to give it a little bit more depth and effect. So again, you're going to pick up your beauty sponge and you're going to blend that. Make sure there is no harsh lines. You want to make sure this looks as natural as it potentially can, okay? So again, you don't want no harsh lines. So go ahead and make sure that all of that is fully blended. And don't forget to get a little bit of, you know, dancing time in the meantime. Forget to check yourself out. Make sure you know you're looking cute, you're feeling yourself. And then I'm going to do a little bit more of a close-up to make sure that you see kind of how I blended out so far. After I'm done with my cream contour, I go in with my concealer and I go in the shade 170 with Fenty Beauty. I put some under my eyes, in my nose. And as you can tell, I messed up, so we're going to fix that. And then we're going to put a little bit more under my eyes to give really that brightening part. Then you're going to put a little bit on top of your lips to give it a little bit more of a highlight effect. So you're going to blend that all out. Ensure, again, that it all looks good and you don't have any patchiness or any rough areas. I do blend that out under my eyes and I do put some on my eyelid. So this is going to also help as a form of, you know, primer and really to get that eyeshadow we're going to be using on later. Now we're going to go in with our Laura Mercier Invisible Powder. And then in this loose powder, you're going to apply it to essentially any area that you applied your concealer. So we're going to put some under our eyes just to, you know, bake a little bit, make sure it's all set and it's not creasing. We're going to also apply a little bit more on our forehead to prevent any oiliness. And then we're going to put some on our chin area too. So now we're going to go to the next step It's the brows, and this shade is 3.5. It's a Benefit Precisely My Brow. So now you're gonna grab that pencil and you're just gonna start filling in your eyebrows. I personally like to just shade in any of my natural eyebrow, and sometimes I do a little bit of an arch on the upper part of my eyebrow, but again, my eyebrows are relatively in good shape where I just feel like all I have to do is fill in any of the gaps and just darken them a little bit more. Once you are happy with how that's looking, you're going to move into the next step, right? So again, I'm giving you a little bit more close up for you to really make sure that you understand the details. And I go with a spoolie and I just blend that out. Again, any harsh lines, you just want to make sure that it looks very smooth. And again, I'm feeling myself. So now we're going to go in with our eyeshadow palette, my favorite palette of all time, the Desi and Katy Friendcation. We're going to go in with a color Necessary, and that color really serves to put any color on your on the crease area. So I am going with a blending brush from Alamar Cosmetics. And again, you're going to just blend all of that out. You really just want to give yourself a little bit of, just a little bit more definition in your eye look as you're kind of moving forward. So once you're done with that eye, you're going to go with the next one. And really ensure, again, you're creating a very natural effect with this look. You don't want any harsh line. You just want to make sure it's blendable. It is somewhat noticeable, but not too out there. And the next color we're going to be using, it's going to be Just a Kiss. It's a little bit more of a glittery shimmer. Although a lot of people may tell you not to do any glitter or shimmer in your interviews, I do like to spice it up a little bit, you know, give it a little bit more meat. As you can tell, it's not that noticeable, the shimmer, but it does give it a little bit more of a look. The next color you're going to be using is going to be Cheens, and this one I'm going to go in with a flat brush. To make sure that I'm doing more of an eyeliner look, but again, this is just eyeliner with eyeshadow, so it just gives you a more softer look, but it does complete the look and make you look a little bit better and more put together. Once you have that desirability, we're going to show you the difference between each eye. As you could tell, it does add just a little bit more definition. You're going to go to the next one, to the next eye, and do the same process again. Now we're going to go in with a big fluffy brush and really blend all of that and dust off any of that excess powder we used earlier. So you don't have to bake anymore. Just put it all over your face, make sure it all gathers a little bit, just so it could be a little bit more set. Going in again with that same flat brush, you're going to go back with the color Cheens, and we're going to do that in our lower water line at the bottom eye. So make sure that you are putting that, and that's just going to just give it a little bit of a smoky, but again, it just adds a little bit of definition as you're looking for your eye look. And then we're going to go in with a different brush and get some of that necessary color again to blend that out, because it is a job interview, so you don't want it to look too harsh as you're doing that. You want to make sure that it's all soft, it's all blended, and yes, you're wearing makeup, but you look more put together than if you're going to go to a party. So now we're going to go in with that Cover FX in the color Silhouette, and this is really the contour to use it to make sure you're giving more definition, you're adding it all. So when you do a little bit more of a close-up, it does look pretty obvious. Later on, I'm going to go in and just buff that out a little bit more to give it more of that blendability, right? So I do put that on my cheekbones, and I put a little bit on my forehead just to give it a little bit more framing. Once you have that, you go back in with that very fluffy brush and you just blend it all out. Make sure that it's not harsh. It all looks nice and smooth on your face. Next part, we're going to be using some Lush Cosmetics Mint Juleps lip scrub, and this really just helps me exfoliate my lips and make sure that they're ready and prepped for the next steps. I like to do this a little bit before I have to put my lip. Now we're going to go in with our Alamar Cosmetics blush palette, and we will be using the color Paraíso. So it's that middle shade, and just putting some blush on our cheeks. I do tend to make this very interesting smile when I apply this, but you know, just want to make sure that it all looks good. Once you're done with your blush, you're going to go in with your highlight. I am using the Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop. We're going to go in with a fan brush and really just add some highlight. You know, again, highlighting the important parts. I am the important part. Bringing yourself some confidence, just looking nice and glowy. You are going to add that to the tip of your nose too, because you want to give and bring attention to those areas. And as you can tell, the brush got stuck in my hair. You know, welcome to my life of Anna. So you take that same flat brush that you used before for your lid, and you're going to put a little bit of highlight just to do some inner corner highlight. So you're using the same shade. I tend to use the same shade that I'm doing for my highlight for those areas, just to kind of keep it together. And now you're going to go in with your lash curler to just give that lash a little bit more curl. Again, I have little, very, very little lashes, so anything that I can get will be very, very helpful for me. So once you have, you know, curled those lashes, again, make sure you're not adding too much pressure. You don't want to cut them off. And now we're going to go in with our setting spray. So we're going to do the Fix Plus, and this is from MAC, and you're going to be I'm using Cucumber. It does tend to feel very refreshing. Now I'm going with the fan because I'm extra AF per usual, but I do like to have an even, you know, level of dryness for my makeup. Then you're going to go in with your Tarte's Big Ego mascara. At least that's my favorite, the one that I get to choose. You're just going to apply that to your top lashes. Once you get that desired look, I do tend to apply a couple of coats. I did want to remind you all to not pump your mascara, so try not to go in too many times because that could bring more bacteria into your wand, and you don't want anything that has too much bacteria as you're putting that so close to your eye. So you're going to keep doing that so you can tell that they're a little bit more visible. And now you're going to go in with the bottom lashes, give a little bit of that just to kind of give you that pull together, okay? Then we're going to go in with our lip liner, and we are using the shade Sweetheart. This is by Morphe Cosmetics. I'm just going to line my lips a little bit more. And for this one, I am going to go in with my lips too, so this will serve as my lipstick. And just, you know, something very simple, very straight to the point, but it does provide a little bit more definition onto your lips and just makes the look a little bit more put together. So now you get to see the final look. This is exactly what it's going to look like. Again, it's very simple, straight to the point. Then you get to see my interview clothes, and I'm just showing you a little bit more. Thank you.
And then just a quick reminder that whenever you're going to interviews, you have to go into your most positive set. So remind yourself that you're a badass, you're a chingona, you got this, right? Thank you so much for watching.